Welcome to Navigating Your Corporate Career series. This is a three-part series. Part 1 is intended for entry-level employees, Part 2 for middle management, and Part 3 for senior corporate executives. And please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I am Christopher Lewis. You'll get more details about me on my LinkedIn page. That's www.linkedin.com/in/ChrisLewisTT. I'm based in Trinidad and Tobago, and I have over 25 years of senior corporate management experience, some of which was at C-suite level. My industry experience ranges from food and beverage manufacturing to banking, to healthcare management, to credit union movement, to property development, to the state sector in investing as well as in exporting. I have also gained multidisciplinary expertise over time in marketing, strategic planning, financial analysis, just to name a few. If you want to learn more about me, you can check out my LinkedIn page. Lesson 1 in this session deals with before you start, before you embark on that career, before you make a choice of study. You may still be in university or at secondary school. These are some tips that I would like to share with you. So the key career preparation tip is, what should you study given your intended career? You may not even know what your intended career is. And that's okay, and that's not unusual. My advice is to acquire as much knowledge as you can at this time. Learn what seems natural to you. Eventually, it will sort itself out in terms of a career direction. Do research on the job market to see what fields would be of interest or would be in demand after you graduate from your field of study. Remember, you can get education in so many different places now. Besides the traditional sources such as a university or a college, you may also learn off the internet. Wherever you can, try to acquire that knowledge. But remember, don't believe everything you read. Most of the time it's someone's opinion. It may not necessarily be fact. So you need to distill the information you receive. Get corroborating sources of information so you could form your own judgments based on the data you have collected. You may also wish to inquire from experienced corporate personnel or people who are in business to give you some tips and guidance as to where next you should go in terms of developing your career. And my final point in this section is to know the difference between a hobby and a career that you can build on. So you may like to do a particular task, but maybe you cannot make a living doing that task. So understand the difference. It will help you in making your study choices with a career objective in mind. Now, when you're applying for the job, make sure your resume reflects the best of you. It should reflect a positive attitude. You should come across as likable in the resume, capable, willing to learn, because you will be short on experience given that you are now starting off in terms of your corporate career. So what you lack in experience, you should make up for in terms of attitude and the sort of image that you are projecting. Clean up your social media pages if you have to clean them up, because you can be sure that the employer will be looking at those. And of course, do your research on the companies of interest to see, is this a good fit? Is this something I can do? Is this a place I want to be? Use your personal network to build your chances of getting an interview or being considered for a job. The more people that are aware you are on the job market, the better your chances of landing that important interview. Practice interviewing with your friends and with your family. It's okay to make mistakes at the practice stage. You don't want to make any major errors during the actual interview. Entrepreneurial activity actually does help you even if you're looking for a job down the road, because it would introduce you to the world of business, the whole concept of buying and selling, meeting customers' requirements, attitude to the public, and learning how to cost an item and this sort of thing. So there are several lessons that are valuable that you learn as an entrepreneur that will be of use to you in the corporate environment. And when you do actually get that interview, make sure you are dressed in accordance to the nature of the job. Now, you may be asking yourself, in the face of the pandemic, what is called the Great Resignation in the United States, where people are leaving their jobs for several reasons. A lot of it personal. Sometimes it's because of all the opportunities that have now arisen online, where you can earn income, perhaps, let's say, as a YouTube influencer, and so on. So people might be looking at a corporate career as maybe this is not the best idea or something I want to pursue at this time. As well, because of the pandemic, a lot of companies have had to close, either for health regulations reasons or the whole disruption of the traditional economy. So for example, restaurants for a certain time, you could not dine in, you had to order only, and not everyone could make that transition. Some restaurants closed and never reopened because of cash flow implications of the closure. Of course, with all of this disruption, it impacts on job security and it creates more anxiety amongst employees. So having said all of that, why still consider a career in the corporate world? And I would say there are several benefits to be derived, some of which I've listed here. But one of the key benefits is that you are then working with people in a corporate environment. You're meeting people of various backgrounds, different education levels, different races, and so on. And that mix of people need to come together and work for a common purpose to fulfill the strategic goals of the company. And that sort of experience is invaluable that you will hold with you for life. You will get that additional public recognition too, as well, if you are in a corporate field, particularly depending on the level of your position within that company. It does provide income stability and growth, and hopefully you'll be working in a learning environment. My final point in this session is to choose wisely. Money is not everything. Don't go for the first job that is offered to you or that pays you the most. Think of all the other factors. Is this the right environment for me to be in? What are the prospects for me to develop my skills or my knowledge base if I work in this company? Don't ignore red flags. So you may have gotten some red flags during the interview process. Don't ignore them. They may be a signal of what is to come if you actually join the company. What's the social media profile of the company like? Is it a slew of negative articles about the company and its customer service? Because that may signal something to you as well. Did you receive negative advice not to work in a particular company? If you get that type of advice from more than one person, chances are there's something there that you need to consider. Or maybe it's just the online presence of the company, no website at all or a badly organized website. And that again might be an indicator of how organized the company is or how receptive they would be with new ideas. So consider other factors besides money, because money is not everything. This is the conclusion of part 1, session 1. So I thank you for viewing. I invite you to look out for part 1, session 2, which will be in the same channel. And please don't forget to subscribe.